We're going to start this presentation. Introducing today Scott Garver. Scott is our presenter, is currently VP of Education of the City of Columbus Toastmasters and the Dublin Advanced Toastmasters. He is also really excited about serving a term as the area governor of Area 74. Since joining Toastmasters 3 years ago, Scott has quickly worked his way through the Toastmaster education track and is currently accomplishing his Advanced Communicator Silver and a second Advanced Leadership Bronze. His goal is to achieve his DTM this year and also have his area recognized as a President's Distinguished Area. Please welcome Scott with his presentation on conducting effective Toastmaster meetings. Scott Garver.
Let's make some noise. Let's hear it. I didn't get enough noisemakers for everybody, I don't think, but we've got a good bit there for you to have some fun with.
Is that an Oklahoma hat?
Oklahoma? No, I don't have a Boomer Sooner hat. Thank you so much for that very kind introduction. I couldn't have written it better myself. All right, let's get started. I want to get a feel for who's in the room today. Do we have any club presidents in the room? Could you please stand? Okay. Oh, I didn't tell you to say yet.
No, you didn't.
Oh!
Let's hear from here.
Yes.
What is your biggest challenge as a club president, and what did you hope to get out of your attending this session today?
Our biggest challenge as a corporate club is having enough members come to the meeting so all of our roles are filled up front. I think
Great.
that's one of our biggest challenges.
Thank you. Let's hear it for it. Okay, District 40 spread out over 3 states. Do we have anybody from Kentucky here today? Stand up, please, if you're in Kentucky. Okay. First off, how the heck did you guys get across the border?
Oh!
No, just kidding, just kidding. We love our kin from Kentucky. What did you expect to get out of this session today?
Well, I'm a firm believer that people, like Ralph Medley says, learn best in times of enjoyment. And sometimes our meetings aren't quite as fun as I'd like them to be. But I hope to get out of this.
You came to the right spot. Thank you, guys.
Good.
How about our VPs of education, the real workhorses of our clubs? How many of those we have in here today? Please stand up. Just 1? 2? Okay. Well, since I already asked you why you were here, I won't ask you again. But welcome. And lastly, how about some Buckeye fans? Where's our Buckeye fans?
Oh!
It's obvious that these are the smartest guys in the room right here, this group. Carl, why did you decide to come to this presentation today? What do you want to take home from it?
Scott, the reason I came to this presentation is to understand some new ideas and new ways to motivate all the clubs that I'm part of, and I'm an area governor, so obviously I can take some of these ideas and share them with my clubs, as well as I can also take them to the clubs that I actually belong to, and just make it more fun and exciting so that we can get more attendance as well as more enthusiasm.
Great.
That's the reason.
Thank you for coming. Let's hear it for Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Do I got a tips?
What's that?
Do I got tips?
He wants to know if they're going to
I'll give you a prize later. Okay. An average Toastmasters meeting is broken down into 3 parts. 3 main parts. Can anybody tell me what those are?
Prepared speeches.
Okay. Prepared speeches. Table topics. Evaluations. What my mentor and City of Columbus Toastmaster Liz Reed likes to call where the magic happens, the evaluation portion. Okay, so those are the 3 aspects of an average Toastmasters meeting. I want to talk to you about how we can take our Toastmasters meetings to the next level, to an effective and successful Toastmasters meeting. So you asked, how do we do that, Scott? Did I hear that? I think I heard that. Gene, did you say that? How did you do that, Scott? Well, just like we mentioned in the introduction today, Dr. Smedley talked about enjoying yourself. And I also found a quote from Dale Carnegie that said, people rarely succeed unless they have fun at what they're doing. Actually, the National Institute of Mental Health reports that 74% of all people have a fear of public speaking. In most reports, it's the #1 fear. Second is death. It reminds me of a quote from one of my favorite shows, Seinfeld, where Jerry says, "That means to the average person who's attending a funeral, they're better off in the casket than they are giving the eulogy." I know, Dr. Jing, that wasn't the best Seinfeld impersonation you've probably heard, but my point...
That was pretty
really,
good.
first time.
That was pretty good.
My point is this. If you're going to tackle one of your greatest fears, why not have fun in the process? So, how do we do that? How do we make our Toastmasters meetings fun? I've given you a handout so you can follow along. There's a lot of good information on there. But let's just take a look at the word fun and break it down. F. What does F stand for?
Fun.
Right. Right. How many of us in our clubs have theme meetings? Every meeting has a theme. Okay, about half the room. How many of us use that theme to decorate the room and really get excited about the meeting? Does anybody decorate for their meetings? Liz?
Yes, I'm in your club, so of course we decorate.
The party is here. It doesn't take much. A little touch here or there. If it's a fall theme, throw some fake leaves around, put some pumpkins up on the wall. If it's a Valentine's theme, hearts everywhere. Summer, put palm trees up. We did a tropical theme in the middle of January last year, which was really successful. We put up big blow-up palm trees and other really tropical things. We had lays and we did all that thing. I mean, what's more fun than getting laid, right?
I don't know what that means.
You've got to lay. You've got to lay around her. That's fun, right? How many of us use our agenda as a way to have fun in our meetings? I love to infuse fun into the agenda. I've got a couple of examples here for you. Take a look at these. I am the Vice President of Education in the 2 clubs that I'm a member in. And I've taken it upon myself and made it my responsibility to create our agendas for every meeting. Why? Because I love it. It's fun. The first thing I hear, when I hear what the theme is for the meeting, the first thing I do is go to Google Images and pull up some fun pictures that go along with the theme, and then copy and paste them over and put them on the agenda. I mess around with the fonts and the colors of the agenda. We've gotten rave reviews about these agendas. City of Columbus members, have we not?
Woohoo!
Yeah.
It's just another, yes ma'am.
Do you have more agendas?
I'm just passing back, guys. For those
Yeah,
of
just
you that
pass them
have-
back. We'll keep. Yeah.
I brought several examples for you to check out. Another thing, once you have that agenda, get it sent out to your members prior to the meeting to create a buzz. Get people interested in what's going to happen during the meeting. How many of us have been to a Moments of Truth presentation? Toastmasters Moments of Truth. Okay, about half the room. Next time you're at a TLI or a conference, get to it. It's awesome. It encompasses the entire aspect of what we should be doing as leaders to have a successful club and what our clubs can do to be successful as well. But one of the things, and if you haven't been, look it up. Get on Toastmasters International website. Even better, present it to your club. present the moments of truth. You can get credit towards your Advanced Leadership Bronze or another Advanced Communicator series by presenting that. And it really is, I did a workshop with one of my clubs this week, and they had never seen it before, and it really was eye-opening to all the different aspects of being in a Toastmasters club and what's important. I bring that up because one of the things that Moments of Truth talks about is getting your agendas out to your clubs prior to the meetings. How many of us do that? Okay, good. Why is that important? Yes, sir.
It can get everybody on the same mental stage or mental page.
Okay.
Get everybody on the same tracks as to how they could possibly do things together.
Okay. Yes, Liz?
At a recent meeting, we had additional attendees that normally wouldn't have came when they heard the theme of the meeting. They're like, I want to be a part of that theme. I want to hear about this. This sounds like fun. The theme was fairy tale endings.
Fairy tale what?
Fairy tale endings.
Do you know if Free Toast Host can allow you to modify the agenda to look like what you've done?
Not exactly.
No, what you have to do is just pull it over into Word and then copy paste into
To make it more fun?
Yeah. Because I
Okay.
started an advanced club in Dublin, and one of the things that we're real sticklers about using the website. So this is the first time I've actually used the agenda
Regular
builder on the
agenda,
website.
yeah.
But I just took it off and put it into Word and copy and pasted stuff in. So it's not just an extra step.
Yeah.
Somebody have something in the back? No? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, sir.
The assumption is if you send out the agenda early that you have all your meeting roles filled too,
Yes.
before the meeting.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes that's a way to get people to take on a role. Is put their name on the agenda. Oh no, I got to go to this meeting. I've had several of my club members say that to me. Well, I'm glad I did that.
Or they can coordinate what they're doing with the theme, like table topics.
They can. Yes, that's a great example.
Yeah, put the agenda out, actually inform the people, meeting actually has the meeting. Because a large club, when they only meet twice a month, some people got lost, do not know there's a meeting. That's very important.
But also, it's the Moments of Truth brings it up in the sense that we want our members to be prepared for their roles when they come to the meeting. If you know you're going to be an evaluator ahead of time, then you can talk to the speaker and then you can prepare yourself that, hey, I'm going to be evaluated tonight. So that's one reason. Another reason that I bring it up is because you can let people know how much fun they're going to have when they get to the meeting by the creative agenda and the creative theme. Also, entertaining table topics. How many of us, our clubs, feel like we really have fun during our table topic sessions?
Yeah, we do.
Pretty much everybody. Let's hear an example of what makes your table topics fun. What do you do? Yes.
We'll take our theme, let's say it's football fever, and then the table topics master will come up with specific questions that they thought would be fun for a member to come up and give an impromptu speech about, and they'll get to choose. Or that they may have to put their hand in a hat or something and pull out a question. And they're creative based on the theme. So it's fun. We sometimes have someone say, well, I can't say a thing about this, but I'll talk about this. And they'll talk about another aspect of it, but at least it gives some great ideas. Sometimes when we don't have that prepared in advance, we have one of those die that you can throw out at the group. And we also have the deck of cards, which has questions in case you don't have something prepared.
Maybe sometimes pick numbers, we've done that, objects, that kind of stuff. Pick it out of the bag.
I have one other thing too. We did a backwards meeting a couple, 2-3 meetings ago. It was our first effort at doing a backwards meeting, and it was a riot.
Good.
I got to assign the table topics awards up front. So I just handed everyone your award. Great job, great job, great job. And that's who had to come up and give the table topics. That was real fun.
Yeah, something I learned at another club when I was there at Governor, it was the Right Toastmasters, and they had table topics Jeopardy. So they projected up on the screen the categories, which were Toastmasters related, and then they had the $100, $200, $300, $400, $500 questions, And so when you were called on to do table topics, you said, I want this topic and that value. And they touched the pointer to it on the screen, and the cover went away, and you saw the question, and then you had the answer. Actually, they saw the answer, and you had to create the question.
That's really cool.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
I think one of the best table topics we had in one of my clubs that I'm a member of, which is a very stuffy club. They don't have a lot of them. The theme for the day was teddy bears. Well, I happen to be the table topic master, so my first question was, why did Smokey the Bear bring Teddy Bear to the Jerry Springer show? And each person played another role, and the last person I asked a question, you're Jerry Springer, now have your closing dialogue. I've never seen that club laugh so much, but it was a wonderful thought.
Yeah,
It was
that sounds
something
fun.
different they had never done.
Yeah.
Carl?
We did something at the Encore Dance Club where what they did is they took an object, and then what they did is you had to start with somebody, and they started off with a story, and then as soon as that person was done, it was like a little puffball, and then you threw it to somebody else, and then that person had to continue on the next part of the story, and then they came up there, and that person had, and it just, you had to be very imaginative and creative, and it was just so much fun to hear how people can just get up there and be very full of imagination and fun.
Great. I see lots of people taking notes. Feel free to jot all these ideas down and take them back to your clubs for sure.
One of our meetings, the table topics master would introduce a topic like there was a levy for the library, and you had to speak on it, but he would roll the dice, and you had to either take pro or con depending on how the dice came out.
Nice.
So yeah, it was funny.
Great.
Arguing against the library levy.
Okay, who'd like to do a table topics right now? Who'd like to come up and do one? I got one prepared.
Okay. I do.
What?
All right, Dr. Ding, all right, yay!
Sorry, no.
Julia.
Maybe we'll get another opportunity for you.
Gray always have a thick face, don't worry.
All right, hold that up for everybody. Today is National Pecan Pie Day.
Wow.
Pecan pie, one of my faves. That rich, sweet, delectable, salt and vanilla flavoring mixed in. All the sweet, and spicy, and savory. In 1 minute, tell us about your favorite kind of dessert and describe in detail how eating this treat makes you feel, how it appeals to all of your senses. Smell, taste, feel. How about
Chocolate. Chocolate. You see it. When you see it, you have, sometimes depending on the context, you might have to make sure it's actually chocolate, especially if you live with children. But you can tell by the smell. And there is a whole body sensation that goes with chocolate. Now, I have been led to believe that that might be more so with women than with men. I don't know, but all I know is chocolate is it's an experience, it's not just a taste. And I don't eat wheat very often. It doesn't make me sick, but it aggravates my arthritis, so I stay away from it. But chocolate is one of those things I can find desserts for. There's chocolate ice cream. You can take chocolate syrup and add it to almost anything, and you've got a dessert. You can take a banana and slice it and pour chocolate on it and nuts and whatever, and you've got a instant sundae.
You got up there, you gotta get a credit.
when I'm the table topics master, you always get a prize. Just another tip for having fun. All right. This particular table topics, I did this one. It might not have been the greatest creative, fun thing, but I picked this one because it came from a website. This is a free tip I'm giving you right here, so feel free to write it down, Dr. Jane. It came from a website called nationaldaycalendar.com. If you're ever struggling for ideas for table topics or for a theme for your meeting, nationaldaycalendar.com is a great place to go. Every single day of the year, it's some kind of national holiday or national commemorative day for it. So easy spot for you to go real quick and get some ideas for themes and table topics. That one's free of charge, guys. Okay, last thing under fun that I love to do, and that's to use your introductions of your prepared speeches to set the stage for those speakers. Get information ahead of time. If you're the Toastmaster, get a hold of your folks, ask them a couple of questions, maybe some fun facts, or maybe some questions about the theme. Ask them to respond to you before the meeting so you can prepare their introductions. You can infuse their answers from those questions into your introduction. And it really helps to set the stage and make it fun introducing those speakers. So what I thought we'd do is do just a little test. So we're going to do a little workshop here. Let's practice it. If I say the theme of our meeting is Father's Day, what are a couple questions that you can think of that you can ask your speakers that will present a fun fact about them or fun information that you could share as part of their introduction? Let's take a minute, think about it. Okay?
If you have children, really any age, depends, and if they're full of fun, reading the cards that they will give their father, usually, you can do a table topic alone on that.
Okay, I'm not talking about table topics now.
Okay.
I'm talking about introducing our speakers during our meetings. What kind of questions can you ask your speakers that will invoke a response to you that you can share during their introduction that'll be fun and funny? Yes?
Just have a set question that can have some creative answers to it, such as, for the father figure in your life, we look to our father figures as being sane people, but what was something insane that reminds you? And so there you've got a different story each time, and you can keep linking it to the theme. As you're introducing your speaker, it reveals something about the speaker.
Yes. Great. Carl?
Gifts, for Father's Day, you usually sometimes get gifts, or you go places and that kind of stuff. So you would talk about what was the most amusing, entertaining, a gift that you didn't even think you would get, something that was surprising, or even memorable, something like that. That would be a way to say.
Good example?
What's something that people wouldn't know about you that might surprise them?
Okay. What about idiosyncrasies? Our dads have all got crazy idiosyncrasies that growing up we're like, what? My dad is insane. This is what he does. He does this with his hair. Well, my dad wore a wig, so that's why. He was always playing with his hair.
I have a question. If their presentation has nothing to do with the theme, how do you relate the introduction?
It doesn't matter what their presentation
doesn't
is.
matter? Okay, I see.
One of the questions I always ask them is what their speech topic is, and then why did they choose that speech topic?
Okay.
And then I go into theme-oriented questions like, what's your favorite memory from your childhood of something crazy your dad did? Or, what was the silliest gift your dad ever got for Father's Day? Or something like that. So you can have a portion where you talk about what the speaker is going to be speaking about, and then you can also infuse some fun facts about them to share with the audience.
Okay, I see.
Does everybody get that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, let's move on. We're back to spelling the word fun. Next letter is U. U stands for utilizing your guests and new members. Remember the old adage. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. So you always want to make that first impression last, especially in Toastmasters. So, one of the things the Moments of Truth talks about is having a professionally organized meeting room. And then also, very important, greeting your guests warmly, making them feel part of your group. We've all been there. We were the guests that showed up at a Toastmasters meeting and was like, I don't know about this. You know, what's going on here? Greet them warmly. Make them feel part of your group right off the bat. How many of us ask guests during their meetings to introduce themselves to the club and tell your club why they're there? Does anybody not do that? Okay. Yes.
I suggest having somebody actually sit with the guest, be a host to that guest and sit next to them and do a little bit of orientation. And I think that really makes a difference.
Yes, that's a great idea. Have a guest contact book, guest book. Get a guest information. How many of us do that? Everybody, I hope. If you're not doing that, start doing it. What do you do with that information when you get it?
Too
Anybody?
often, nothing.
What's that?
Too often, nothing.
Exactly.
Follow up with them.
A distribution list for emails? Okay.
Do the follow-up.
Follow up?
So we have a general sign-in, and both our members and guests will sign in, and they'll mark whether they're a member or a guest. And then afterwards, I always send a welcome message to them. Thanks for coming, and here's some information. Our next meetings are this. This is when we generally meet. So just kind of keep following up. If we haven't seen them, we'll send another note. If they're in your building, you planning to come back. We really enjoyed seeing you.
You mean Lisa, you mean in your club, every person sign in, include the current member?
Yes. Everyone signs in so we can run some statistics on the number of
That's
meetings
good
that our
idea.
members attend to get some percentages.
Who's usually responsible for the follow-up in your club? Position? Membership?
Yeah, usually. Well, it's a combination in our club.
I'm the VP of Education, and I took upon myself in my home club to, immediately after that meeting's over, if we didn't sign that person up at the meeting, I take a copy of that and follow up with them, take it home and follow up with them the next day.
Yes.
Hey, like I said, how was the meeting? We hope you had a good time. If they did something like a tabletop during the meeting, or table topics during the meeting, I'll reference that. Hey, you did a really good job on your table topics. It was nice to have you participate in that. Send them a copy of the membership application, give them a little bit of the due structure, send them your list of upcoming meeting and dates and times. We got to keep that carrot dangled out in front of them and keep reminding them that Toastmasters is out there. The distribution list is great. That's another thing. I take that guest sheet back and add these guests to the distribution list that I keep, because it amazes me how people will just sit on there forever and never tell you to take me off. I've got guests from 3 years ago when I first started that are on that list, and they keep getting my emails, my agendas, everything about our upcoming events. And they're probably just going delete, 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 but still, unless you tell me to take you off the list, you're staying on there, buddy, and you're going to keep hearing about our Toastmasters Club because we're awesome. We've got a lot of things to offer you. Is that right, Dean Bailey?
Right.
Okay. Get your guests involved through the introductions. We talked a little bit about that. Is there anybody that waits till the end of the meeting to do that? Okay, good. Yeah, I think it really helps to put them at ease by making that one of the first things you do after you talk about your theme, maybe, is go into, well, we want to see who's in the audience tonight. I'm going to introduce our guests. And then ask them why they came. And I think that gives them the ability to know, okay, it's okay to speak up in these meetings. It's okay for me to have a voice. And then they'll be more apt to speak later on, maybe if you encourage them to do a table topic.
I got one
Yes.
thing on the table topic. When I moved to Kentucky, I went to 9 different clubs. I did tell them that I had been a Toastmaster, but they all failed miserably, and the first table topic question was asked of me as a guest. Some clubs stand up, some don't, some come to the lectern. never ask a guest the first table topic question. Wait till at least the second one.
That's a good point. Thank you for that.
I think it's helpful too to guests to let them know ahead of time that there will be table topics, they can participate or they can pass, and let them know that they won't be asked until toward the end, so they can see some of the others. It just helps prep them and they're more likely to participate.
Okay.
That leads me to ask, how do I know when guests are coming? Because usually they come to the meeting and so I don't know up front. Maybe at that time when it's someone I don't know is coming, we could then mention it up front and say later on in the meeting, we'll be having an impromptu part of the meeting. You're welcome to.
And there again, if you have a buddy sit with that person.
Right.
They can, guide them a little.
Yeah.
The next aspect that I want to talk about is just that, encouraging guests and especially new members to participate in table topics.